I really enjoyed the story today. While I was listening to it, I was like, wow, that is so relevant to my life, and just like wishing for things that are really valuable. And so I'm going to take that to heart and really reflect on that this week.
Okay, Eddie?
I had a great experience watching today. Got to really see the story. Today we did the leprechaun story, which the morality is to really be mindful of what you wish for. So this was like a great lesson. I really enjoyed Kayvon's the way she told the story, the way she teaches us how to tell stories. It's really unique and really cool. And yeah, another great day.
What is one thing about this group that appeals to you?
I don't really know.
Well, just whatever comes to your mind.
Well, I like being here.
Okay.
It's definitely helped me like get out of my comfort zone because I'm very nervous when I talk to people, and you know, just something that I need to get better on doing.
So your power of speech and being able to express yourself, you like that, and you feel comfortable being here in this group with us in the school. Okay.
Being able to absorb everybody's energy that they put into this, and just being able to internalize that, and just thinking of plans of how I can do that next time.
Thank you. Susan?
I really enjoyed the leprechaun story today, even though I've heard it many times before, but each time it's a little different, and I really liked the way Kayvon framed it today, and she asked a lot of good questions beforehand to kind of get everyone into it, so I really like that. So I'm learning a lot about storytelling as well, and that's what I like Shafi said, like it's a good opportunity for the students to come out of their comfort zones, but we're also learning so much. Like Valerie said, she's taking on new like skills and learning stuff, so it's just a great experience.
What was a little bit of the simple issue? What do you think about the way we handled it?
I thought that was amazing. So there was a student who was kind of talking to other students, being a little bit distracting, and the way that Kayvon handled it, I was like, wow, if all teachers could, if I'm doing something wrong, if people could explain it to me in that way, with like showing that you care and that's why you think that they should, you know, be corrected. I think that would be amazing and really get the message across that it's not just like, oh, you're doing something bad.
Or ignoring it and let it keep going and then be bothered with it and let everybody else be distracted about it, but nobody addressing the elephant in the room, and it would make the whole atmosphere lacking respect.
Yeah.
What did you think about it?
It's your students still.
Yeah. Oh, I think you handled it very professionally.
Okay.
You don't exactly like embarrass him.
Yes.
Yeah. Most people would.
Yeah.
Yeah, you handled it very good.
Very lovingly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So that was our day today.
Yeah, and we hope you all have a wonderful week. Anyone who's tuning in, this is more for us, so we can, so we can remember and really, you know, have the things that are fresh in our memory right after we meet with the group of students at Palomares Academy for our group. But it's for your enjoyment too, so you can also share this experience with us. So have a great week.
Bye.
I'm Nicole Jabari. I teach at Cal State Long Beach, and one of the things that Kayvon and I have been trying to do is to put this program to research so we can generate scientific data for it. And I think we just did, because we submitted the abstract to University of New Mexico, which I think it's one of the biggest mentorship program in the country. So we submitted, they accepted, and we're going to present in October.
This is news. Congratulations.
Wow.
All of you, congratulations.
We're very happy about that. So I think the scientific world, especially the academic world, needs to hear about this program and why it's been successful. That's the focus of our research.
Very good. Thank you.
I'm sure you'll get the published paper. I'm sure Kayvon will send you a copy.
Yes.
So very, very happy to be here, and thank you for all your support as a district. I think once the academic forces get together, that's when we find that solution, the final solution, because one person, parents alone, educators alone, it's a huge, huge undertaking. So when we get the support of such institutions like yourself, a school district, I think it makes it that much more powerful. So thank you for your support.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Blanca De Gallo, and I'm the parent of Sienna Delgadillo, and she's a freshman at Palomares, and she has blossomed so much. I cannot even recognize her. It's been a blessing with Miss Kayvon and the girls, and to be able to have her in that group, even though it was a small group, she was one of the youngest. She has learned so much, so I'm very grateful for this program.
I was one of the parents that we selected to be involved in our program, so we would go and visit with her and build friendship and build community.
Hi everybody, my name is Valerie Zamora. I met Kayvon my freshman year at Cal Poly Pomona, and now it's been 2 years since I've graduated. So that's how I keep track of the time. So I think it's been 6 years since I met Kayvon. And then I was there since the very beginning, the inception of this Palomares Empowerment Program. I remember it was the three of us, myself, Kayvon, and Natalie, who is my cousin, who unfortunately could not be here today. It's been a wonderful journey to be there from the beginning, just to see how it started and then evolved, and just where we are today and how much I've grown since then and what I've learned. And I find myself recalling back like little things that I can apply to my life that I didn't even know that I could pull from. So that was really wonderful, and it's always an honor to be there to these youth.
Welcome, this is April 5th, this is our reflection video. Let's talk about how it went.
Yes.
I thought today was a really good day. It was their week back from spring break, so at first not many of them came, but then Dr. Buell rounded them all up, and then everyone was here.
It was wonderful that she came in and she really put everything into perspective. Here it is a place to learn about themselves, self-knowledge, self-awareness, moving towards the direction of serving as peer mediators.
Yeah, I liked that even though it had been 2 weeks since we had last met with them, that they still remembered a lot of the activities that we did. And then they also remembered a lot of the stories that we've told so far in the program. So I was really impressed.
We did an activity where we broke them up into 3 groups, and one person was a storyteller. So we have them going in the direction of everyone practicing and being able to tell a story clearly and with their emotion in it, and having really hit those crucial points to get lessons out of a story. So now they're all going to be practicing that at home. They practiced it today, and I thought it's really good. They all were very engaged.
I think one of the biggest things that we accomplished today was to really connect what we do here really can impact them in their lives and in what they're trying to achieve through this community service project. Focus on storytelling is going to help them be great presenters and just more interesting people. So
I was really impressed by how much people were participating, and when questions were asked, we're actually talking, and there was more of a variety of people talking.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity to build connections and really see how we can keep building that relationship with them, being that support, helping them.
You guys are all wonderful, by the way. Just absolutely wonderful.
Well, you're at the core, literally, even in the middle of the circle. You're right in the middle. Also, something that stood out to me was that today in our prayer, something that Natalie said was that she hopes that she sees a spark in their eyes. And so I was keeping an eye out for that today. And I did see some of them light up and be oh, and that some of them do have Snapchat. and like so we can Snapchat them, and then they could tell us like their stories, and hopefully we can make it work. In my group, we like try to get into character and listening, but I think when we got back, we really like understood like how important it is to listen, how that's a craft and the skill in itself that will help, and that's what mediators do, and to help them practice and telling stories is really important too. So all in all, this is a great day.
And help them be joyful and just be there for them as a role model, a mentor, and learning what that even means. Yeah. So thank you so much for that opportunity.
The uniqueness of this program is the 3 layers of it. Is the supervisor and trainer, is the trainees, the interns, and then the beneficiaries,
That's right.
which are the students. Actually, the students are the 3rd beneficiary. They're not the first layer. The interns who have stayed with me for 5 years have become the 1st level of beneficiaries. And that's what we are going to be presenting at the conference. That the model really is very unusual in its range. And sometimes the parents have been the beneficiary because they come. And it bridges the age gap, which unfortunately so much divides our community. It bridges across cultures. It bridges across religions. It bridges across economics. It bridges so many aspects. And so that's where this experience creates the empowerment. It's a global mindset. So it's just like everybody can find their place in it. It has proven itself in the life of my interns that it works. Because the students came and left because of their circumstances. They could not be consistent. This program was evolving and we were discovering what would work. So it was after school and then was in class and then was in school. Fernando has been walking with us and you have been walking with us this journey. And so it's still in its process of being perfected. And I think the next level would be a collaboration between parents and students and the community.
I'm Juliana Licata from the Arcadia community, and I'm so glad and privileged to be here. I'm a humble student of this wonderful teacher, Kayvon. I know her for many years. She's my spiritual mother, and we really appreciate your support because you guys are becoming like the model for us. I'm trying to learn because we are trying to establish the same program from Kayvon in Arcadia. Although many people know that Arcadia is considered a very good school district, the level of education is really excellent. My children went through that. But there is something that lacks on it. And unfortunately, in privileged neighborhoods, they have everything. That sense of materialism really prevents them to blossom, that these beautiful girls. And we are trying to bring these kind of projects to them so they can just focus more into what is the really meaning of life. It's not just making money, it's serving. So we are trying to learn. I'm so happy to learn that you guys have been accepted for the program because that will be a pilot program for everybody. Right. Pasadena is starting now. We really, really appreciate and thank you for the opportunity. We have been knocking a lot of doors and know everybody's open to the idea. But this is a great success story. Thank you.
And as a parent, I can speak on how it has helped me and guided me in raising my 2 boys. And my children were so blessed to be able to be with Kayvon once a week. It made such a difference in their lives, in my lives. And we are better because of it. And I am so thankful that Kayvon opened her heart to us. And I was one of the originals with Valerie and Natalie. Yeah. And they asked me, and I thought you never ask. And my boys attend a youth group with Natalie and Valerie on Sunday. And they're asking me, do we have youth group today? Which I'm like, sure, let's see. And they're asking me to go. and missing their soccer games so that way they can attend the youth group, so that we can be with Valerie and the youth group. And as a parent, I would love to see more classes for parents to work with their children. So thank you, Kayvon. Thank you, the team. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this. I hope that I can do more.
What I'm impressed with, I look at Valerie. There's an innocence about her. And students that are in high school or middle school, they truly appreciate that someone could be vulnerable, someone could be just straightforward and honest, and not have this facade. Mm-hmm. Because at 22, most kids, they hide their real self. You don't really get to see them because either they want to be something or be somebody or be like others. So I am so happy to hear what you're saying, because your boys want to be in youth group. And I think they just enjoy people that are honest, just people that are real, and not so much trying to figure out how to hide and stay behind the curtain.
You know, one of the things we learned in this program is the example of these interns and its influence on the students.
Yes.
Their relationship with me, they would rely that I would jump in if they get stuck. So they would start doing a training and they would get stuck and I jump in, and they're happy, they're delighted. But initially the students were so fearful of I'm interfering, and it took them a while to see that they appreciated it, and then they started to change their attitude. Towards the end, appreciating my intervention.
Right.
Because the whole meaning of love for them is very, very limited. And my interns translated to them that this is what real love is. It's someone's pushes you but then stands by you and holds you if you trip.
Right.
And that's how you learn.
Yeah, I love that. Spiritual family is what came on is to you. And many of these kids are going to look to you and phone call you and talk to you. Like my 6th grade teacher. I'm 56. My 6th grade teacher, I still call her. Yeah, it's been a lot of years because she was that, came on to me, at the time of a need. And our kids, many of them are in desperate need. Desperate need. I would say 75%. Even when they look great. I like what was said about Arcadia. Even when you think they got it all, there's issues that need to be resolved.
This is Shore Azizi. I have learned so much from the program, and Kayvon is one of those persons who does things with a sincere act of service. She's not doing it for any, names or anything else except for the well-being of the students. And that's really, really something valuable to learn from.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Iraj Kamalabadi, and I'm one of the people in the periphery. And it is a pleasure to be associated with Palomares Empowerment Program. I met you a few years ago at Kayvon's house at the dinner celebration.
His father actually went into prison in Iran, and Dr. Kamalabadi, because of being a Baha'i, and then tortured, and as a result, he passed away. His sister, Fariba, has been in prison now, getting into 10th year, because of being Baha'i and because of speaking about the oneness of humanity, equality of men and women, science and religion coming together, that we are a global community, we have a global identity, we belong to the same family, we are one. The example of his sister is one of the things I use to tell the student, why am I teaching them? I said, this program is about social justice. But you know what? I am one of those people that many of my cohorts were executed in Iran. I cannot go there because I would cause problem, not just for myself, but for others. So I decided, but I got to think out of the box. So the out of the box is, what the difference does it make if I teach Palomares students? It's the same as teaching the Baha'i students in Iran. It does no difference. Member of the same family. I had activities for them, a metaphoric thinking activity. One of them was a picture of the 7 members of the Baha'i community who was in prison for 10 years. And there was a whole bunch of other objects, and they were supposed to be connecting these objects metaphorically. And the kids were so bright, they impressed me tremendously. I told them a little bit about this. I said, these are the people, the reason for I'm teaching you guys here. Because that is the internal fire that is burning, bringing me to you. And so when they connected, one of them said that this picture, we like to connect that with this elastic band. Because these people have stretched themselves out of their comfort zone in order to make a statement to the world about oneness and about unity. Light going on in their eyes and in their spirit, that they are part of a global family, and that's why we're learning together. And I think this is a sense of belonging. This is what we need to be. We cannot be our little minuscule disadvantaged group of kids in the school. That's not what it is. And that was part of it. And Iraj's sister, when he was in prison, she could call. We would get a call from prison. It was like, and she would encourage us, right? You guys don't worry about us, he says. Don't worry about us. You do what you have to do in order to awaken the world that we are one family. That's it. So, this is very connected.
So that is the motive. I get it. Oh yeah, because I know you're good.
The challenges for us is always trying to implement program for students, and it's difficult when you're trying to balance the academics with the social emotional learning. And as a district, we've grown over the years to try to implement that with programs like this. For me, we oversee and we support all our programs from school mental health and health. So we call it student well-being because we're looking at the whole child. And so that's why I'm always interested in attracting programs like this into our district. So we work with all the nurses, with the health assistants, with all the staff, and then the support programs we bring in for our parents as well. This program does that. It teaches our kids how to be family, and family in the extended sense, and not just your nuclear family. But we have a lot of family that supports us across our city, across our world. So it's connecting to that. That's why I'm very appreciative. Thank you for helping us with the research study as well.
It was about time to pilot this program, and hopefully we can put Pomona district on the map.
And so I applaud the students that have come back, that have gone through the local universities and are giving service back to our community. That's what we ask our students here.
We do our best to get factual data in the hands of the people that need to make decisions. As a parent, with them deciding what school, what district. We want our students to be in our district, but parents are their first teachers. Parents make decisions for their children, not administrators of a school district, of a district of 24,000 students. Are there?
All right, so good morning, I'm Susan Selfridge. So I've been with K-Vaughn and this empowerment program for about 2 years now. I first got involved with it because of Valerie. So we went to Cal Poly Pomona together, and we're in a same club together, and she kind of was telling me about the program and kind of invited me along, and I haven't left since. So I've been here for the journey and the transition between when it was an after-school program, meeting once a week with the students, and then transitioning into going every day to this peer mediation class, which has been an incredible experience. Words can't begin to explain everything that I've learned and how I feel about it. I've learned so much that I know will help me in the future, and wherever I go. It's hard to think on the spot of all these different lessons that you've learned, but as you go and experience new things, you kind of draw from them, like Valerie was saying earlier, and you're like, oh yeah, I do know about that. I have actually a lot of experience doing this. So it's been very exciting, and to work so closely. We only had a class of 8 students, and there was about 6 of us. So wow. It was almost one-on-one. So it was really a unique experience being able to build such close connections with these students and seeing their growth and how they've transformed. When we first started the class every day, these students were so hesitant, they were so critical and questioning of who we were and why we're there and why are we doing this. So it was very hard to stay with our goals and our missions. I know a lot of people might have just left then and felt discouraged, but because we were such a strong team to begin with, we really were able to support each other and move past that. And then it's so worth it, because at the end of the year, you look at Sienna and she's grown so much and she's so radiant, and she was able to go to Judge Dorothy Nelson's and speak about her experiences. And that's amazing for a freshman, you know, to do that. And each of the students are the same way, and they've grown so much. So it's just been such an honor to be a part of the program. So thank you so much for your support. And everyone being here today and sharing as well. It's been very meaningful. Being part of this program has really helped me, push me to apply to grad school for school psychology. So I'll be going to LMU.
Great.
Starting this fall.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Hopefully you'll be working in this region when you're, That's incredible.
I supervise a program such as this in future.
I would love to, yes.
That's incredible. That's good. I am a product of foster care. So I'm a product of what I didn't live with my parents only but 3 years of my childhood life. I moved, I went to foster home, and I eventually got to my aunt's house. Those are many of the stories that you've heard with the children that you work with. It's that story. And so what I always tell my teachers and I tell counselors is just really get to know the story of a child. Everyone has their very unique story. It's where do you meet them, and how do you empower, and how do you support, and how do you do so that way they become better. So that's something that I see this program and what it has to offer is I look at hope, I look at future, I look at potential, and it really opens up and brings the physical, the emotional, and the spiritual together. Because if there isn't a balance of all of that, you don't have a whole person that's healthy. And so there has to be all of that. And so this has allowed us to do that in a very small way, but very significant. Very significant, because I can't wait to hear in the future years what happens with these young people that you've touched. It's gonna be incredible. So I'm giving you the end of what will happen. You've got the beginning part of this, about what incredible things are doing. I just want to thank you, because I see the incredible potential that will happen. Not maybe, it will happen. So just...
We have two authorities in the community that the community at large responds to on a regular basis. One is the church and the other one is the school. The school has the superiority for me because it unifies everybody, it brings everybody together. There's no line dividing. So for me to be able to work out of the context of the school is very important, because the frame is oneness. You all come together. You're not divided by anything. And to be able to really have a deeper understanding of this oneness, how does it look in application and in life, is not something that we know out there. So we have been trying and exploring the application. How would we teach oneness? And the program we designed and implemented for these 5 years has been the progression of that application. And what are the ingredients that needs to go in it in order to be empowering, to call on their humanity, that post of honor, that all of us universally, absolutely sit on it. And that is very embracing. As long as you believe in your own humanity, you are accountable to certain principles and universal laws. That's what we went after. Initially we saw walls, a lot of walls, and they told us, don't talk to us, don't ask us to participate, we don't feel safe with each other. And the younger kids were on one side of the room, the older ones but the older ones weren't talking to each other either. Towards the end, they were caring for one another, they were mentoring each other, they were nurturing one another. It was very, very empowering to see the humanity that came out of these students. It's all with us, just the humanity.
And we were talking about how do we take this to another level, and I said, I need data. I need research.
Right.
Because without that, it's going to be very difficult
Yes.
to be able to express this to either to expand it in one district or to expand it in another district.
So the program is already there, it's been successful, so the way it's going to happen is we're going to look at why the program has been successful and the elements of its success, and then we're going to apply the theory that is applicable to it, so we get the support of the theory that's already been proven. So that's how it's going to work, which it's no more difficult or easier than doing it the other way around,
Sure.
which is, having a hypothesis, because hypothesis has already been proven. So it's easy. And what I think made University of New Mexico available, because this year's conference is all about educational programs that have proven to be successful, especially in elementary and secondary education. And this fit right into that conference theme, and it's easy. So, so that's how we're going to approach this. So you will have the empirical data that shows this program is successful because of a theory supporting it. So research is very important. It's a support system. So we're going to have fun writing this paper.
One person that I absolutely have to mention is Dr. Camille Beal, principal of Palomares. We had to meet with her so many times to really custom make the program, because she was learning just like we were learning what would work. And her willingness to sit and be flexible and to be willing to consider other options out of the box, because there was nothing like this program. So there was nothing you could really go by. You have to make the program. So, and the students had a great deal to do with how we designed the program. So it was answering their needs that they brought to us. And so if they would say to us, you guys are weird, why don't you just stand there and lecture so we can sleep? We would have to come up with a way that would break through it without making it a problem. And so if they were listless and they would come and they just kind of fall asleep on the thing, we could not complain to them and say, oh, how come you guys are sleepy and come and you're not interested in engaging? We had to design a strategy so it would become a solution. So then we designed these, what we call it, icebreakers. And he was energetic. We would have them all out in the yard and running like mad. And after that, they would come back and we would ask them from 1 to 10 before they go, how do you feel? They said, like 2. So when we come back, they said, from 1 to 10, how do you feel? They say 8. We said, okay, so you guys now know what to do in order to be energized and ready for learning, right? And they said yes. So we had to devise all these solutions, which was not part of any curriculum.
So right now, what you're showing us is the cities recognized you, the school districts recognized you, and the assembly has recognized you, the state assembly.
Yeah.
That's what I've seen so far. Well, thank you for being here, and all of you for giving up your time. I always look at time treasure in what you have to offer. It's incredible for anyone that's willing to give.
I really want to say thank you to every single person who is here, starting with Richard. Maybe we can then go downstairs and
absolutely take a picture.
Unless